different units. We work in the Tower building downtown, which is a big building. There's lots of floors, and all the different units are on different floors. And my unit is on the 13th floor. We're the top of all the AG floors. And like Heather said, I am an assistant attorney general. Before that, I was a prosecutor for a long time. And as a prosecutor in Pine Bluff and in Lonoke County and in Little Rock, I primarily prosecuted child and adult sexual offenses and domestic violence related offenses. So that's been my primary focus my entire career until I came to work at the Attorney General's office a little over 4 years ago. And I came over as an assistant attorney general, but I'm in a prosecutorial unit, and I am in there with one other attorney, and then I'm in there with about 8 investigators and a couple of forensic examiners. And our unit is called the Cybercrimes Unit. And primarily what my unit does is we investigate and prosecute internet crimes against children. And when I say internet crimes against children, I primarily mean we prosecute those who are either sharing and viewing and distributing images of child sexual exploitation, or they are soliciting children on Facebook, Instagram, other forms of social media, maybe to try to get them to either A, engage in some sort of sexual conduct, or B, to send the person sexually explicit photos of themselves. And my unit prosecutes folks all over the state, which means I don't just prosecute in one county. I get to go all over the state. I prosecute in Pulaski County here in Little Rock. I've had cases in Texarkana, have cases in Hot Springs, Conway, Heber Springs, pretty much anywhere we get to go, and we get to be special prosecutors on these cases. And it's really cool for me because as a prosecutor before, when I worked at a regular prosecutor's office, the police investigated cases and they brought them to me, and I took them from there. Well, here in this job, because I get to work alongside our police officer, our investigators, the prosecutors and the investigators work together, and we make some really, really spectacular cases. And for instance, I had a couple of cases here in Pulaski County that just recently pled out, which means the cases are now over, that instead of going to trial, the defendant elected to accept a plea offer, and they've both gone to prison, and one of them accepted a plea for 80 years in the Arkansas Department of Correction, and the other one accepted a plea for 65 years in the Arkansas Department of Correction. And both of these men were folks who were they were exchanging and distributing videos and images of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. And one of them was already a registered sex offender, and that means that he had already been convicted of a sexually related crime and had gone to prison and had gotten out. And when you're a registered sex offender, that means you have to register with the state, you have to register with the police department or county where you live, you have to apprise them of your whereabouts at all times where you live, and you may even see postings sometimes about someone being a registered sex offender. Well, the first individual was a registered sex offender, and we caught him distributing videos and images of children, and he received an 80-year sentence. When we arrested the other guy who received a 65-year sentence, he had never been arrested, had never been charged with anything sexually related to children. However, when he was interviewed by our investigators, he admitted that over the course of the last 20 or 30 years, he had sexually abused at least 12 children in a bunch of different states and had never been caught. So that's why it is so important that we go after these folks who are doing this, because most of these folks who are distributing viewing, possessing videos and images of children. They are also a lot of times what we call hands-on offenders, which means that they have sexually abused children in the past. And most of them, we believe, even if they don't admit to sexually abusing children, they're either A, they're lying, or B, they are going to. So we hope to get them caught and put in jail where they can get treatment, and hopefully they won't be able to offend again. So that's a little bit about what I do and who I am. I'm married, like Heather said. My husband is retired. He was a C-130 pilot in the Air Force, and he works out of the base now. We have one son. His name is Luke. He's 10 years old, and he goes to Christ the King Catholic School in Little Rock. And I've had to have a lot of conversations with Luke about this already, because how many of you like to game? How many of you do a lot of gaming online, whether it's Fortnite, Roblox? Okay, yeah, a lot of you. Mostly boys I see, but some girls. Okay, you guys familiar with Roblox? Yeah, okay. All right, well, Luke loves Roblox, and that is his very favorite game to play. And so what we've done in our house, Luke has a laptop computer, and it's pretty much his own laptop, but we have put it in mine and my husband's bedroom. So the only time Luke can use that computer to play Roblox is when he's in our bedroom. And I have a nice sized bedroom with a little sitting area, so a lot of times we kind of just hang out in there and watch TV and stuff. But that way I know that Luke is being supervised, and I can at least keep an eye on him while he's playing Roblox. And he has friends from school and some other friends that he's met that he will play back and forth with. But you know, we've already had to talk about how there's a lot of adults out there who pose as children, who start speaking to these kids, playing these games online, and the next thing you know, kids have left home because they're going to go off and meet this person. And oftentimes what happens is these kids find out that they think they're meeting, you know, or visiting or chatting or playing a game with another 12, 13, 14-year-old kid. And oftentimes what we find out is these are 40, 50-year-old men who are posing as children and who are playing these games online to try to lure these children. So that's something that you always have to be really careful, and don't think, oh, it'll never happen to me. Because in Pulaski County, Arkansas, this happens almost every single day where a kid is being solicited by an adult online, okay? So, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions because I want this to be interactive. I don't want to stand up here and lecture to you all day long. So I want to do, what would you do if someone you were playing Roblox with started harassing you online? Not trying to solicit you or meet you, but just harassing you and saying ugly things. Yes, ma'am. Well, good. So it sounds like you've had a talk with maybe some parents or teachers about this already. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay, maybe change your user profile if you wanted to get back on. Okay, good idea. And so are you in the red sweatshirt? Block them? Okay, good. Now, hang on, I'll come back to you. Just say somebody starts being ugly to you and calling you bad names or whatever. Should you ever respond? Is that a good idea? No. That's good. That's great. Get off the game. Tell your parents. Report it. Block them. The last thing you want to do is start a bullying or cyberbullying war on Roblox. Ignore that person. Get off the game. But never, ever, ever engage that person. And I'm talking about whether this is an adult or a child or whatever, but you don't Um, say you're playing Roblox online, and you're able to, play with other players. How much information should you give about yourself to these other players? Sir, I see you saying 0. That's right. Don't give any personal information about yourself while you're playing games. Never, ever, ever talk about where you live, whether you're home alone, anything like that. Never give out any personal information like that. So we know when you're playing games online, whether it's Roblox, Fortnite, I know there's a ton out there, but those are the two I'm the most familiar with, so that's the ones I keep referring to. If somebody bullies you, somebody says, hey, let's go offline and visit. Here's my number, text me. Here's my email address, contact me. What do? Delete it, ignore it, don't engage with that person. Report them, block them, tell a parent, get off the game, whatever you feel like you need to do to stay safe. But don't engage. And then the same thing, if somebody starts calling you a punk or blah, 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 and giving you a hard time, telling you you're a terrible player, what do? Ignore it. You ignore it. You block them. You report them. So that kind of leads me to my next topic that I want to talk to you about real quickly, and that's about cyberbullying. Does everybody know what cyberbullying is? Yeah. And that could be bullying somebody on a Roblox game. But that could also mean texting about other people that you go to school with. Texting a group of friends and saying, so-and-so is ugly, I don't like her, we should all be mean to her, da-da-da. And it happens. It's crazy. I had a friend text me yesterday, has a daughter at another Christian school in Little Rock, and her daughter is being bullied right now by a group of girls. It's unreal what's going on these days. But so things to think about with cyberbullying is obviously, you never want to be the victim of it. So always keep that in mind. That do unto others as you would have them do unto you kind of thing. So, just in a biblical sense, don't be mean, don't gossip. If someone is cyberbullying you, you ignore them, you block them, and you tell a trusted adult. If you see your friends are being ugly to somebody else, the most important thing and sometimes the hardest thing that you can do as a kid is to speak up. To speak up. It's so hard. I remember when I was a kid, you want to be liked by your fellow classmates. You want to be in the cool group. You want everybody to like you. And so sometimes you see some friends being really ugly to somebody else, and maybe you don't feel that way about that person, but you don't want to rock the boat. Well, let me tell you, you need to rock the boat. Because cyberbullying is bad, it's mean, and it can be criminal. So if you see a friend that is cyberbullying another friend, you need to talk to them. You need to tell them that you think it's bad. And if they're not willing to stop, then you need to tell a trusted adult. Even if you're not the victim, even if you're not the one who's doing it, you need to speak up. Never share too much on the internet. Never share too much on texting, especially when it's, not only when it's someone you don't know very well, but even if it's a friend. Because we all know right now, at your age, unfortunately the way it works, somebody who's your best friend this week may be not your best friend next week, but then you may be best friends again the week after. And if you tell that person something or show them a picture or tell them something really personal or something, maybe write something not really nice in somebody's yearbook. But aside from that, that was about it. I mean, if we talked to somebody on the phone and said something ugly, well, you know, it was my word against your word. Well, now, there is literally forever documentation of anything you do, whether it's a text that you send that gets screenshot, or a photo you send, or a video you send. Once it's sent, it is pretty much out there forever. Once you press send, you no longer have control of that. So again, don't share too much. Don't reveal too private information. Don't reveal private pictures. And use privacy settings, and don't accept just anyone as a friend. Let me tell you, I got on Facebook about 10 years ago, okay? And it was fairly, you know, I mean, it was really starting to get popular, and I'm getting friend requests and stuff, and I'd see somebody and go, that name's not very familiar. Who do I know? Oh, but I clicked on, well, Heather knows him. Heather's friends with him. So, it's okay. I'll accept that person as a friend. And then I figured out, you know, a couple years later, I had 100 friends on Facebook. I didn't even really know who these people were, or I'm like, I think I went to high school. Oh, okay, yeah, they're from Benton. I must know them. But do I really want those people knowing all about my life and seeing pictures of my newborn child and all that? Probably not. So I had to do this with and every day I'm getting Facebook and Instagram requests. And I still have a hard time, even as an adult, even doing what I do, going, I don't really know that person. Why does that person want to be friends with me? Delete, delete, delete. And I mean, for a long time, I would have this huge list of friend requests because I didn't have the nerve to decline their request or ignore their request, so I just kept, put it off. And then finally I went in and just deleted. I'm like, clearly I do not need to be these people's friends. And I'm not saying any of these people had bad intentions or anything, but I don't need to be friends with these people. I don't need to be sharing intimate aspects or pictures of my child doing this, or, you know, funny stories or whatever about people that I don't even really like. How do I know this person? And I know kids, if as an adult, I feel this way and have issues with that. I know as kids, my niece, who's now 23 years old, she's graduated from college, but she's graduated from Benton High School in 2013, I believe. And I remember at one time she had like 2,000 friends on Facebook. And I'm like, Jessica, how do you know 2,000 people? I don't. But my friend Drew is friends with this person, so I said, and it's insane. Now, as she's gotten older, you know, that's changed a lot. But that's the thing, I know for some people, there was almost like, I want to try to get the most friends on Facebook, or the most followers. Snapchat, oh my gosh. I keep deleting Snapchat from my phone because my son just wants to sit there and take my phone and make all those silly pictures and stuff. But Snapchat, I know for a long time people thought, oh, Snapchat, those pictures disappear quickly. You know, so I can send it and it won't ever be seen. Well, that's not the case either. I screenshot Snapchats. If I can figure out how to do it, it can be done. So once, you know, and that's the thing, the bad guys and the creators of all these different social media apps, a lot of them have really bad intentions, okay? I don't think Facebook had bad intentions. You know, that was started by, you know, the guy, Zuckerberg, when he was at Harvard trying to start a group of college students interacting and stuff. And a lot of these are great ones that have been turned bad because of what people have done. But a lot of these apps, they're bad intentions. They're bad because they're being designed so students can hide stuff from their parents, right? You know, the ones that, oh, it looks like a calculator, but it's not. And then, oh, well, Snapchat lets you send nude pictures of yourself, but they're not traceable. You know, there's new ones out there all the time. And what they're trying to do is allow you to engage in conduct that maybe you wouldn't otherwise do because you don't think you're going to get caught or you don't think it's going to spread. But I promise you, with every new app that comes out, there's somebody else trying to figure out how to beat it, how to work it, how to make it do something that it shouldn't do. And with that, the investigators people that create software and forensic tools for investigators are out there trying to figure out ways to beat the app. So when something bad does happen, that we can go back and we can trace it and we can figure out who these people are. So the bad guys are always trying to stay one step ahead, and then the good guys are always trying to stay one step ahead. And it's this constant battle because there's so many things going on every single day that are making it just too easy for kids to do really stupid things because they don't think of the consequences. So, all right. I want to. Do you know about For My Eyes Only through Snapchat? Yeah. Okay. That's something that I'm not familiar with. I guess it's a privacy setting. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's changing every day and new technology coming out. I mean, we hear of a different. I'm on a listserv, which is an email chain with prosecutors from all over the country and even like in England and stuff. And every day, somebody will send out an email. Hey, are you familiar with this app or that app or whatever? Because we've had an incident and we're trying to get information from it. And I'm seriously, every single day, I'm hearing or seeing the name of a new app or a new some sort of social media forum that I've never heard of before. Something new is coming out all the time. And a lot of times, like I said, it is there's bad notice. It's not because they want you to share, cute pictures of your little brother and little sister playing soccer. It's because they want you to be able to do things that you shouldn't be doing. Can we play the photo video real quick?
You probably get lots of messages every day, but what if you got one like this? What would you do? Would you send a picture? No? Cool. That's an easy way to protect yourself. But what if you'd chosen differently? What if you send the picture? They'd never share it with anyone else, right? Do you want the picture shared with others? Sorry, you no longer have a choice. It's out of your hands now. Because sometimes people we trust break that trust. Maybe the person you sent the picture to shows it to some friends. Maybe they send it to a couple friends, who send it to a couple more friends, who you get the idea. It spreads, and you never know who might see it. Your little brother, your mom, other people at school, even strangers could get a hold of your picture. You never really know where that picture will end up. How long it will be out there, or what the consequences will be. Don't let others decide what happens to your image. Think before you share. Learn more at netsmarts.org. And hey, if your image is already out there, know that it's not your fault. For information about removing sexual pictures and videos from the internet, visit missykids.org/gethelpnow.
Okay, I know it's a little cheesy, and I heard some giggles back there, but I think it makes a couple of good points and a couple of things that I want to touch on. Did you see the part where it's looks like kind of maybe an older man, and he's clicking on a photo and it says "new girl"? You remember that? Okay. That's typically where we come in. That's what my office does. And we see a lot of that. A picture or a video that maybe a 14, 15-year-old girl has taken and sent to her boyfriend. And you know where that ends up? That ends up being exchanged on different forums that you can exchange child sexual exploitation material. That is illegal, if everybody doesn't already know that. What is often referred to as child pornography is illegal. It's illegal everywhere, just in Arkansas. Hello? And so you can't just get on and Google child pornography and child pornography comes up because it's illegal. As a matter of fact, if you Google child pornography, a little disclaimer will pop up and say, it is illegal, and if you know of anything, please report it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, okay? So, but here's the thing. Do you think because it's illegal that stops people from doing it? Absolutely not. So what they have to do is they have to find creative ways to exchange, distribute, manufacture child pornography with trying not to get caught. And there's various ways you can do it, but luckily law enforcement is constantly figuring out how they're doing it, and we're constantly trying to stop them. But for every person we do stop and catch, there's hundreds more out there that get away with it, and hopefully we'll get to them at some point. So there's different types of ways that people do it, whether they're emailing back and forth, maybe an email group, and I'm not going to go to a lot of details on this, file sharing networks, that sort of thing. But there's ways that these pedophiles get pictures and they share those. So a picture that you thought you were sending to your boyfriend in confidence and in privacy, and he would never share with anybody else, could end up in the hands of a pedophile. And most children that we know of who have been victims of this, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that, there's some girls out there that were sexually abused by various people for the purpose of these videos to be distributed in child pornography networks. And I've listened to a few of them speak, and one of the things they say is knowing that those videos and images are out there and they'll never get those back, they can't be a normal person. One of the girls said when she goes to the grocery store and she's standing there picking out an apple, she says she'll see a man standing there and she thinks, oh, has he seen me in one of these videos? So every day, these children are being victimized. And not only that, but pedophiles, and does everybody know what I mean when I say pedophile? Pedophile is someone who preys on children sexually. They use videos and images of other children to lure in and break down barriers for their victims. Kind of like, look, she's doing it. Look, she's smiling. It's okay. It's okay if I take your picture. This little girl's happy in this picture. It's not a big deal. And so they use children who are being victimized to victimize other children. And those girls that have been interviewed talking about that, the fact that they know that children are being further victimized because of their images, it's just a twofold blow to them. And they really, many of them and most of them cannot live normal lives. They can't go on and get married and have children and stuff because of all the trauma that they've endured. So, but the other thing is, in that video, did you see where the policeman shows up and he kind of points? Okay? That's one of the biggest issues here is sexting, sending videos and photos to your boyfriend. That's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal for him to get it. And it's illegal for you to send it. Even though you are the one in the picture or video, if you are underage and you send that, you can actually be prosecuted, and that has happened. That has happened here in Pulaski County. I know of a case that has happened in the last couple of weeks in this county where a kid was expelled out of another Christian school here in Pulaski County. I mean, expelled, does that mean when you're out for good? Okay, yeah, he's out for good. He was either a junior or senior. I get suspended and expelled. Confused. Okay. Expelled. He was expelled. He's now facing criminal charges in juvenile court, hopefully in juvenile court. He's 17, so technically he can be charged as an adult. But probably 12. But he was sexting back and forth with his girlfriend, or getting his girlfriend, I think, to send him sexually explicit photos. Well, anyway, mom of girlfriend sees them on girlfriend's or her daughter's phone, reports it. Police department gets involved. They have ways of tracing things through internet service providers, cell phone providers, IP addresses. There's all kinds of things that law enforcement can do to figure out who's the person who is getting these images. And this kid has now been expelled and is facing criminal charges. And this just happened literally either last week or the week before last here in Pulaski County. And that's just one thing that I'm aware of. And that just talking to somebody else, I've just kind of heard about that. And it goes on all the time. And here's the thing. Did you know that as a child, as a juvenile, if you're convicted of possessing child pornography, that you, even though maybe you don't get jail time, maybe you get probation, whatever, you can be a registered sex offender, and that can carry you for the rest of your life. It definitely is going to stick with you for the next 15 years, and then it's like you have to petition and try to get your name off the registry. How is that going to affect college applications? What do you think? College applications, do you think most colleges want to accept someone who's a sex offender? No. Think most people want to hire someone who is a sex offender? No. So there are the ramifications or the consequences of sending these photos and the embarrassment and that spreading, and your brother seeing it, your mother seeing it, your friends at school seeing it, you get nicknames. That's terrible, and that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. But you can also get arrested and charged and actually have to be a registered sex offender. And that is something that literally will haunt you for the rest of your life. And it's truth. I'm not trying to do a scared straight here. I mean, as in what I do, I see it all the time. Yes. Anything under the age of 17 and under. Child pornography is like anyone under the age of 17. So, boy or girl under the age of 17, if they appear in a nude or sexually explicit photo or image, that is considered child pornography. So, and we've had cases where it's borderline, we can't really tell, and you can have Dr. Farsh from the Arkansas Children's Hospital, who's an expert in pediatrics, and she can come in and go, yeah, that's a child, that's not a child, kind of thing. Unfortunately, in a lot of the cases that I prosecute with children as young as infants and toddlers, there's not ever a question about how old the kid is. But obviously with the sexting and stuff that we see all the time and the luring of children, that's usually involving a little bit older child, and sometimes it is questionable. It's been in the news quite a bit lately. I mean, even in Arkansas, I know there was a case up in northeast Arkansas where a autistic girl was being contacted online by a couple. They came down from Washington State, kidnapped her in the middle of the night, and were driving her back to Washington. I believe I'm not sure if they caught them once they got back to Washington or on their way back. But again, through technology, law enforcement was able to ping cell towers and that sort of thing and figure out where the phones were and stuff, that they were able to find this young victim. And it turns out this couple that had come from Washington to bring her back to do whatever, they had lots of victims. They were able to arrest them and save a lot of kids in the process. But this was up in Northeast Arkansas. I think it was Osceola just a few months ago. And I mean, we see on the news daily about usually men who think that they're meeting up with a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl or boy, and they get to the day's end or whatever, and lo and behold, law enforcement is there to arrest them. And I mean, it is on the news almost daily now that you see something about that. But here's the thing. For every one person that gets arrested by law enforcement, there's a lot more that are getting away with this and that are doing this. And now I want to show you, this is a real story. It's called Julie's Story. It's a quick video, and I'm going to show this to you now.
The internet, it's a tool that has to be used properly. You know, it's like a knife. I mean, it's very helpful, but it can also cut you. My name is Julie. When I was 13, I started talking to Tom. He didn't act or even sound like a 56-year-old man. So he was different on the computer. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be talking to him, but I did it out of a retaliation against my parents. It felt nice to have somebody who wasn't always trying to tell you what to do. It started to get more like a relationship where it went from just friends to best friends, more personal relationship than best friends. I would instant message him between 3 and 6 hours a day. I was really upset whenever I couldn't get on the internet because I knew that he would be like, "What were you doing?" And he emailed me like 10 times when I knew where I was at. Then you feel like extremely bad about it. It was an opportunity for him to manipulate more. I trusted him more than anybody else. He mentioned, wouldn't it be nice if we were together all the time? And then the thought came up of running away. The night I left, I kissed all my brothers goodnight, and he was in his truck, and we just rode out. I ran away for 3 weeks. The day that I was found, we were on our way to Reno. Somebody reported us and saw our truck. I knew pretty much it's over, and I never really thought the day would come. He's going to be in jail for 25 years. He sent a letter to me saying that it was my fault and that he was going to kill me if he ever got out of jail. I was really upset because he didn't say anything about caring about me. I didn't think of his background, and I didn't apply it to myself, and so maybe he could have done anything to me, even kill me. And so, you know, now that I'm back, I feel like there's this huge emptiness inside of me. If I could have talked to people, maybe I would have had a different view on some things. If you're planning to run away, it doesn't help solve anything. If it does anything, it makes it worse. Little things can end up becoming a big thing. I
with some colleagues the other day. It is pretty much every day, and I get the little Arkansas Democrat Gazette on my phone, and I get the morning update, the noon update, and the evening update. And honestly, there's probably not a day that goes by, or maybe one day a week, that I don't see that someone has been arrested. An adult has been arrested for some sort of victimization of children, whether it be a child pornography related offense, a hands-on offense, both. We see teachers, coaches, other folks that work at schools and churches getting arrested. It's, you know, nobody wants to think that this happens, but it does, and believe me, based on what I've done for the last almost 20 years, I know all too well. So, just a couple of takeaways. You know, I don't like selfies. I do not like a photo of myself. Every photo that I take, I'm like, I look fat, I look wrinkled, I look old, I look gray, whatever. So, you know, that's fully clothed. So I can promise you that I will never take a bad selfie, okay? Never. So we have that same conversation at work a lot. Like, we don't even like regular selfies. It's hard for us as adults now to comprehend children just snapping nude and explicit photos of themselves. But by golly, if you ever do find the need to do that for whatever odd reason, don't send it. Do not share it. Think about it before you do anything. So, because you think about, okay, let me tell you, now with social media, anybody who applies at the Attorney General's office, do you think that we don't check out their, you know, see if they're on Facebook, see if they're on Instagram, on Snapchat, all these things. And there are literally people not hired in my office and many others based on their posting. Now, I'm not saying they're all posting naked pictures of themselves, but based on stuff that they say on Facebook, or maybe something they shared, or a meme or something that they shared that was so inappropriate. And that kind of stuff is coming back, and it's causing kids, you know, people, not just kids, adults to not get jobs. Every day I saw on like ESPN the other day how like 5, 6, 7 top recruits across the country who were being just sought out, you know, after the big schools, Alabama, a lot of these big schools, that they saw their social media, they saw their Twitter. They're not getting scholarships now. That's how bad it is, okay? So, kids are getting kicked off of teams based on going back and finding out stuff that they did or said years ago. There was a couple of professional baseball. I'm a huge MLB fan. Love baseball. Love it. And I love that spring training has started. I can't wait for the season to start. So anyway, I follow baseball news. Well, last year, a couple of big-time players really got in a lot of trouble because it turned out back like when they were like 16, 17 in high school, and now they're in their mid-20s, they had made racist posts on Twitter, and which is stupid to do, and they had made posts, and people go and they dig those out, and they found them, and they caught, you know, they got suspensions, they got all this kind of stuff. They got, you know, teammates were upset with them, they felt betrayed by them, and it was stuff that they had done as teenagers coming back to haunt them 7, 8 years later.